The colloquium was recently held at the National Library's Centre for the Book in the mother city, Cape Town. This was to begin a series of dialogues aimed at promoting African identity and social cohesion. CNBC Africa's Benedict Parther filed this report. Here it is.
They gathered here in Cape Town to discuss issues around race relations. Academics, artists and members of the public got the chance to engage with government about the importance of embracing African identity.
We are dealing with a systemic problem. It's not just prejudice, it's much deeper than that. And South Africans, from all walks of life, we are challenged to reflect on ourselves and be honest about ourselves, whether or not each and every one of us are in a position to take a stand against racism. We should be able to accept that there is a problem among some of us, and how do we deal with that. If we circumvent the process and don't go straight to the heart of the problem, we'll be peppering the cracks. And it would be naive also to expect even the best drafted laws to eradicate decades of and centuries of oppression and institutionalized discrimination.
Hosted by the Department of Arts and Culture under the theme Confronting Race and Racism, the colloquium was aimed at conversing around ways of overcoming a racist past.
Racism matters most when it affects, people's access to resources. If you are going to exclude me from resources, then racism bites very, very sharp. I think if you look at the Constitution, that's why our Constitution is weak, because it says those rights that facilitate access to resources, those rights are conditional. The right to work, the right the right to a decent home, the right to health, all those are conditional depending on the availability of resources. But now in this country, who has resources? Government can't do it alone. It depends on the private sector. But the people who are now, making racist statements own most of the resources. So we are very vulnerable because we depend so much on those, who use apartheid to monopolize resources.
Race is when people classify, and it came out of learned professors, centuries and centuries, I think 14th or 16th century, who came up with this classification of human beings in racial categories and then attributed certain characteristics, to those races. And this has been proven to be false. But the perception persists that color of skin, race, determines the future of a person or the capabilities or the lack thereof. And this is not true. And that's where you get these negative attitudes, including racism, is when you forget that we all share a common, ancestry.
The night was also aimed at paying homage to the work of veteran African authors and highlight the importance of promoting black conscious literature, particularly at public schools.
I've been sort of fighting for a the longest while now, like our youth, even people of 30 who have never read Cry Rage. What do they know about the role of the dissident poet? This is what the school should be doing. Not only myself, our work should be on the curriculum of every high school. And a book like Cry Rage should even be used at a university for political science.
Those in attendance felt these discussions were a crucial way of building a more cohesive society.
There have been a lot of statements made that have been of a racist tone, made by certain individuals in social media and so forth. But what this allows is to bring these discussions forward to people in an intellectual way, to try and discuss and figure out what it is that we may have, the paths that we may have taken that were wrong since the inception of our democracy, and what it is that we need to do.
Having this discussion is very important, I think, not only in the climate right now with all the stuff that's been going on with social media, but I feel like these conversations are long overdue, and that's why social media is popping up the way it is, because people have been silent about their opinions for so long, and when the truth comes out, it comes out in ways of anguish and angst. And really, these are conversations that should be happening all the time so that no resentment, no anger builds up.
Until you actively get up and do things and support the art, buy our music, and that will ensure that you understand what your identity is. And once you understand your own identity, you can then extend it and include it in whatever else you do. Yeah.
Various other events are scheduled for this month, ranging from fashion to music, art and cuisine, all aimed at increasing recognition for the continent and its people. Benedict Parther, CNBC Africa, Cape Town.